What if dying isn't a destination, but a return to being the eyes of the universe itself? This isn't just a feeling, it's an ancient understanding. The Gnostics talked about the pleroma, the fullness. They believed we are all tiny sparks of light that got separated from a massive universal fire. While we are alive, we think we are the spark. We protect our little flame, terrified that it will go out. But death is just the spark falling back into the sun. When I felt my consciousness being pulled, I realized that the person I thought I was just a thin layer of smoke around that light. In the pleroma, there is no me, there is only the fullness. You don't lose your light, you just stop being a lonely spark and start being the entire fire again. It's the end of the illusion of separation. The Gnostics weren't just philosophers. They were rebels of the spirit. They believed that this world, the one with taxes, heartbreak, and physical pain, was a shadow. They called the creator of this material prison the demiurge. In their view, your personality is just a garment the demiurge forced you to wear so you'd forget your true origin. When I felt that pull toward the universe, it was like the fabric of that garment finally started to tear. Imagine you've spent your whole life looking at a stained glass window. You think the colors and the shapes are the reality, but death is the moment the glass breaks. You aren't the shapes anymore. You are the raw, blinding sunlight that was shining through them all along. The Gnostics called this gnosis, direct knowledge. Returning to the pleroma isn't like going to a party. It's like a drop of ink falling into a gallon of pure water. The ink, your ego, disappears, but the water becomes the vessel for everything you ever were. You stop being a story and start being the inkwell. Think about it. We spend our lives building a personality. Your name, your trauma, your favorite coffee. But when the lights go out, that software starts to glitch. I felt this. It's like a slow, cosmic unplugging. You don't jump into a tunnel. You're pulled back into the fabric of space. And here's the trippy part. As you go, you start to forget. You forget you were you. Your memories don't vanish. They just stop being yours. They become just data in the background. If you think this is just mystical talk, science is actually catching up. There's a theory called Orch-OR, developed by Nobel laureate Roger Penrose and anesthesiologist Stuart Hameroff. They suggest that consciousness isn't produced by your brain like steam from a kettle. Instead, it's a quantum process happening in tiny tubes inside your neurons. When your heart stops and your blood chills, these quantum states, the very essence of who you are, don't just die. They leak. They dissipate into the geometry of the universe. This explains why the thinking stops, but the awareness remains. Your brain was just the hardware running a temporary program. When the hardware breaks, the code doesn't disappear. It just returns to the source code of reality. You become the information that holds the stars together. Let's get technical for a second, because this is where it gets mind-blowing. Sir Roger Penrose didn't just guess this, he calculated it. He argues that our self is actually a series of quantum objective reductions happening in the microtubules of our brain cells. Think of your brain like a high-end radio. Most religions think the music is inside the radio, but the Orch-OR theory suggests the radio is just picking up a signal that exists everywhere in the universe simultaneously. When your biological hardware shuts down, the signal doesn't die, it decoheres, it leaks out into the space-time geometry. This is why you feel that curiosity I mentioned. In a quantum state, there is no linear time, there is no before or after. You're experiencing what physicists call non-locality. You aren't here or there, you are the field itself. This is why your mind can't form human thoughts anymore. Human thoughts require a brain to limit them. Without the brain, your consciousness is too big for language. You aren't thinking about the universe. You are the quantum information that allows the universe to exist. Right now you're thinking, that sounds terrifying, but is it? Imagine the relief of no longer having to carry the weight of being a person. No more questions, no more why me. Just pure observation. The philosopher Alan Watts had the perfect way to describe this state. He said, "You are an aperture through which the universe is looking at and exploring itself." Imagine an ocean. To see itself, the ocean creates a wave. For a few seconds, that wave has a shape, a height, a name. It thinks it's separate from the water. It's scared of hitting the shore because it thinks the shore is the end. But when the wave crashes, nothing is lost. The water is still there. My experience of becoming an observer was exactly that. Realizing I wasn't the wave, I was the ocean, imagining it was a wave. The curiosity you feel after death is the universe finally looking at itself without the foggy glasses of human ego. You aren't watching the universe, you are the universe watching. Alan Watts used to say that trying to define yourself is like trying to bite your own teeth. It's impossible because you are the teeth. When we die, that struggle to define ourselves finally stops. We spend so much energy pretending we are separate individuals, like actors who forgot they are playing a role. Think about a spotlight in a theater. The light hits a chair, then a table, then an actor. We focus on the chair, the table, and the actor. Those are our lives. But death is the moment we stop looking at the objects and realize we are the light itself. The light doesn't care if it's hitting a king or a beggar, it just shines. This is the observer state. You aren't judging the play anymore. You've walked off the stage and realized you own the theater. That curiosity you feel, it's the realization that you were never the character who was born in 1990 or 2000. You were the silent presence in the room the whole time, just waiting for the mask to fall off so you could see the truth without blinking. In this state, your mind is still on, but the thinking part is broken. You become a silent witness. You're aware of the stars, the birth of planets, the vibrations of atoms, but you don't judge them. You're curious, but you don't ask questions because in that state, you are the answer. Some call this the cosmic consciousness. Science might call it quantum information returning to the field. But the feeling? It's like being a drop of water finally hitting the ocean. The drop is gone, but the water is more alive than ever. We aren't humans having a spiritual experience. We are the universe having a brief, messy human experience. So why are we so afraid? Maybe we're not scared of death. Maybe we're just scared of losing the story of us. But once the story ends, the real observer begins. If you've ever felt a strange sense of home while staring at the night sky, that's not poetry. That's your consciousness recognizing where it's going back to. But hey, if you prefer the idea of sitting on a cloud with a harp, that's fine. But I think the truth is much bigger. What do you think? Are we individuals or just borrowed atoms waiting to go back to work as the eyes of the stars? Drop a comment. Let's get weird.